Bihari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari.
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari.
Yashodanandana Braja Janandana.
Yashodanandana Vrajanarandana.
Yashodanandana Braja Janandana.
Yashodanandana Vrajanarandana.
Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Jaya Radha Rasa Bihari Radha Rasa Bihari Radhe. Jaya Radha Rasa Bihari Radha Rasa Bihari Radhe. Prabhupada Gita Gaura Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Hari Bol Gaura Hari Bol. जय ओम विष्णुपाद परहंस परिवेशारे स्तोत्र शत श्रीमती शिवानी ग्रेस भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ISKCON विप्र महाराचार्य श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। रामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से गो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा रास बिहारी भगवान की सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान जी की हिताय भगवान की हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की हरिनाम संकीर्तन की हिताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। All glorious to assembled devotees, all glorious to assembled devotees, all glorious to assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru Shri Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam Bhagavata sevaya. Bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naistike. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya cha. Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna, reading from Canto number 1, chapter number 2, entitled as Divinity and Divine Service, and text number 70. As we already discussed, these are very wonderful verses, and especially they they are now teaching us about hearing the message and the glories of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we will recite this verse. Shunvatam Swakatha Krishna
Shunvatam Sakatha Krishna
Punyashravana Kirtana
Punyashravana Kirtana
Hridayantastva Bhadrani
Hridayastada Bhadrani
Vidanoti Suritsata
Udanoti Sahatsata
Shunvatam Swakatha Krishna
Shunvatam Sakatha Krishna
Punyashravana Kirtana
Punyashravana Kirtana
Hridayantastva Bhadrani
Hridayantastoya Bhadrani
Vidanoti Suritsata
Udanoti Sahatsata
Shunvatam Swakatha Krishna
Shunvatam Sakatha Krishna
Punyashravana Kirtana
Punyashravana Kirtana
Hridayantastva Bhadrani
Hridayantastoya Bhadrani
Vidunoti Suritsata
Udanoti Sahatsata Shunvatam Sakatha Krishna
Shunvatam Swakatha Krishna
Punyashravana Kirtana
Punyashravana Kirtana
Hridayantastahya Bhadrani
Hridayantastva Bhadrani
Vidunoti Sahatsata
Vidunoti Suritsata
Shunvatam Swakatha Krishna
Shunvatam Sakatha Krishna
Punyashravana Kirtana
Punyashravana Kirtana
Vidyantastohya Bhadrani
Hridayantastoya Bhadrani
Vidunoti Suhritsata
Vidunoti Sahatsata
Shunvatam Swakatha Krishna
Shunvatam Sakatha Krishna
Punyashravana Kirtana
Punyashravana Kirtana
Hridayantastoha Bhadrani
Hridayastahya Bhadrani
Vidunoti Shrutam Sata
Vidunoti Sahatsata Shunvatam Sakatha Krishna Punyashravana Kirtana Hridayantastoya Bhadrani Vidunoti Sahatsata.
Word to word translation. Shunvata, those who have developed the urge to hear the message of
Those who have developed the urge to hear the message of
Swakatha,
Swakatha,
his own words.
his own words.
Krishna,
Krishna,
the personality of Godhead.
personality of Godhead.
Punya,
Punya,
virtue.
virtues.
Shravana,
Shravana,
hearing.
hearing.
Kirtanaha,
Kirtanaha,
chanting.
chanting.
Ridantastaha,
Vedantastaha,
within one's heart.
within one heart.
He
Certainly.
certainly. Abhadrani,
Abhadrani,
desire to enjoy matter.
desire to enjoy matter.
Vidunoti,
Vidunoti,
cleanses.
cleanses.
Surit,
Surit,
benefactor.
benefactor.
Satam,
Satam,
to the truth.
of the truthful.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada
Ki Jai.
Translation. Shri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the Paramatma super soul in everyone's heart and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. Purport. Messages of personality of Godhead Shri Krishna are non-different from him. Whenever therefore offenseless hearing and glorification of God are undertaken, it is understood that Lord Krishna is present there in the form of transcendental sound, which is as powerful as Lord personal. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his Shikshashtak declares clearly that the holy name of the Lord has all the potencies of the Lord and that He has endowed His innumerable names with the same potency. There is no rigid fixture of time and anyone can chant the holy name with attention and reverence at his convenience. The Lord is so kind to us that He can be present before us personally in the form of transcendental sound. But fortunately, we have no taste for hearing and glorifying the Lord's name and activities. We have already discussed developing a taste for hearing and chanting the holy sound. It is done through the medium of service to the pure devotee of the Lord. The Lord is reciprocally responding to His devotees when he sees that a devotee is completely sincere in getting the admittance to the transcendental service of the Lord and has thus become eager to hear about him. The Lord acts from within the devotee as such a way that the devotee may easily go back to him. The Lord is more anxious to take us back into his kingdom than we can desire. Most of us do not desire at all to go back to Godhead. Only a very few men wants to go back to Godhead. But anyone who desires to go back to Godhead, Sri Krishna helps in all respects. One cannot enter into the kingdom of God unless one is perfectly cleared of all sins. The material sins are product of our desires to lord it over material nature. It is very difficult to get rid of such desires. Women and wealth are very difficult problems for the devotee making progress on the path back to Godhead. Many stalwarts in the devotional line fell victim to these allurements and thus retreated from the path of liberation. But when one is helped by Lord Himself, the whole process becomes as easy as anything by the divine grace of the Lord. To become restless in the contact of women and wealth is not an astonishment, because every living being is associated with things from remote time, practically immoral, and it takes time to recover from this foreign nature. But if one is engaged in hearing the glories of the Lord, gradually realizes his real position. By the grace of God, such a devotee gets sufficient strength to defend himself from the state of disturbances, and gradually all disturbing elements are eliminated from his mind. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaiham Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajata Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Maharaj Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitam Sha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Panchakalpatarubhyascha Hiva Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namah Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimade Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So I welcome all of you, each and every soul, to today's Srimad Bhagavatam class here at ISKCON Goregaon West. And really it's so amazing that Srila Prabhupada's this particular purport is filled with such a wonderful philosophy that every line we have to take something out of it. That Srila Prabhupada is clarifying many things, even many misconceptions we have in our life, and all, if somebody reads this, definitely he will get the essence of entire philosophy actually. Once Srila Prabhupada was reading his book, and it's one of the disciples, as my memory goes back, I think he was Hari Shauri Prabhu, Prabhupada disciple who preached in Hong Kong. Unfortunately, I forgot the name of Prabhuji. So he was there in front of Srila Prabhupada, and Prabhupada was reading his own book. I think it was a nectar of instruction, Upadeshamrita. And as soon as Prabhupada started reading, Prabhupada was so, immersed into the reading of that book, and all of a sudden he just shook his head and said, see, any person in this entire world, if he reads only this book, this one book, he will get Krishna prema. And then again he started reading, and Prabhuji was there, sitting. And again, after some time, he again shook his head and said, any person, even if he reads one chapter from this book, he will get Krishna prema. Again he started reading. Again after some time he took out his head out of book, and again by shaking his head said, what to speak of one chapter? Even if somebody reads one verse, he will get Krishna prema. That one verse came to one paragraph. Then that one paragraph came to one line. And then after that Srila Prabhupada said, even if, in the last he said, even if somebody touches this book, he will get Krishna prema. Of course, that doesn't mean we should only touch the book. Hari Hari, Prabhuji mil gaya Krishna prema. It's not like that. So this particular incident or a pastime is actually emphasizing on this, the moral or the essence is that these books are so powerful that even if somebody wants to touch, somebody wants to read even a certain paragraph or a certain section of this book, if he reads it very sincerely or she reads it very sincerely, they will get the entire philosophy of Gaudiya Vaishnavism and the essence of entire Vedic scriptures. So that is the emphasis of Srila Prabhupada while saying all these things. So if somebody getting Krishna prema or somebody is getting benefit just by the touching the book, then what to speak of reading the entire compilations which are by Srila Vyasadeva, Shukadeva Goswami, Srila Prabhupada and all other acharyas? What kind of benediction and the benefit we will get out of that? So we should give emphasis on that. Now in this particular verse, Shrunvatam Swakatha Krishna. Shrunvata means by hearing. Swakatha means whose Swakatha? Krishna's Swakatha. His own pastime, his own glories, his own holy name. If somebody Punya Shravana Kirtanaha, if somebody gives an oral reception to that with a sincere heart, if somebody hears the Kirtanaha, Kirti Gayanti iti Kirtanaha, if somebody glorifies the pastimes, activities of Lord Krishna, or even the holy name of Lord Krishna, that is considered as a Kirtan. So what we should give? Shravanam, our hearing, sincere hearing to the Kirtana of the Supreme Personality of God. Hridayantasto hi abhadrani. There are a lot of abhadras in our heart. Lust, anger, pride, greed, envy, illusion, jealousy, competition, politics, blasphemous nature, pointing out faults at others, all these kind of abhadras, unwanted things. Bhadra means what, Bhadra means auspicious. Okay, Bhadra Purnima means auspicious Purnima. Bhadra Chaitanya, Bhadra Nitai, that means auspicious Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, auspicious Sri Nityananda Prabhu. So Bhadra means auspicious, and so Abhadra means what? Which is very inauspicious. And for what thing it is inauspicious? For whom it is inauspicious? To ourselves. So this lust, anger, pride, greed, envy, illusion, this kind of unnecessary things are very much inauspicious for ourselves. Suruchi was so envious towards Suniti that a 5-year-old child, Dhruva Maharaj, when he wanted to sit on the lap of his own father, she could not bear it. And what she said to Dhruva Maharaj, if you ever in your life wanted to sit on the lap of your own father, Uttanapada Maharaj, you should take birth from my own womb. If you won't take birth from my own womb, you are not qualified to sit on the lap of your own father or Uttanapada Maharaj. That is the degree of enviousness of Suruchi actually. And what happened after that, when Dhruva Maharaj became a devotee, naturally Suruchi has to go through the Vaishnava Aparad consequences, and his son got killed by the Gandharvas and she got killed in the forest fire. She has to bear the death of her own son. That is what the consequences of Vaishnava Aparad. So this Abhadrani, as actually what? It's inauspicious for us. Gopala Chapal, he was so much envious towards Shivas Thakur. Shivas Thakur is Narada Muni himself in Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela actually. And Gopal Chapal was so envious towards Shivas Thakur. So what he used to do, he came up with all those kind of karmakandi puja paraphernalia. He kept that puja paraphernalia in front of the door of Shivas Thakur, and in the morning he just saw, he himself kept it, and he started saying, oh, see, in the night they tell that they are worshipping the Lord, they are doing the kirtan of the Lord, but see, this is what they are doing in the dead night. They are giving Kali Bali and Bali towards Kali Mata, and they are posing themselves to be the Vaishnavas. And Shivas Thakur was such a simple person. He only tell, see, come here, see, I am such a hypocrite person. I am myself doing this Kali Puja and I am posing myself as a devotee. I am such a hypocrite, Not sarcastically, but out of humility. Out of humility is taking a blame. Vaishnavara Kriya Mitra Bhagena Puja. Generally we are there to defend ourselves. We want to defend ourselves if somebody is blaming us, blaspheming us, or putting any kind of blasphemous things or defamation towards us. We try to defend ourselves. But here, Shivas Thakur is himself taking, yes, I am a hypocrite person, I am not a Vaishnava. That is a kind of a humility. Don't try ever to imitate it. Right? We will die soon by taking all these blasphemous things on ourselves. And what happened afterward, that Gopal Chapal, because he was responsible for the blasphemy, for the criticism of a Vaishnava, he got that code, leprosy, and his nose started falling, his all the fingers started falling. Naturally, he has to bear the consequences. Until and unless he took shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and asked forgiveness from Gopal Chapal, from Shivas Thakur, that leprosy didn't got cured. That is the Vaishnava Aparad. So these Abhadras actually burn us only. We consider, if I become a kind of envious towards someone, if I try to plot something against some devotee, if I do some kind of hypocritical and political thing towards any other devotee, be cautious. आप उसी गड्ढे में गिरेंगे जो गड्ढा आपने दूसरे के लिए खोद के रखा हुआ. That is what a Vaishnava Aparad. Yesterday also we discussed the same thing. Krishna can tolerate even the blasphemy and criticism towards him. He tolerated Shishupal for hundreds of times, but he cannot tolerate the blasphemous and criticism of his own devotees. He cannot forgive that Vaishnava Aparadhi person. Aparadha. When we do some kind of a nasty activity, it is considered as a papa. You can do some kind of a ritual or some kind of a prayashchitta, what we call prayashchitta in English, repentance, repentive activity, and then that papa will get eradicated from your life. But aparadh cannot be. Aparadha. In devotional service, anything which takes away you from the devotional service, that is considered as a aparadha. The devotional service personification is Srimati Radha Rani, Radha, and one which takes us away from Srimati Radha Rani, Sri Radha, is called aparadha, going away from Srimati Radha Rani. So Radha means coming to devotional service, aparadha means going away from the devotional service. We are going away from our own Supreme Mother if we commit any kind of a aparadha towards the devotee or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So every devotee has to take care, he has to or she has to take care of these abhadras within the heart of that devotee. And how we should take care of this are aparadhas? So it is very clearly mentioned here that Lord is present in everyone's heart. Sarvasya chaham hridhi sannivishto matta smritir jnanam apohanam sha vedesya sarve ahameva vedyo vedanta kridveda vidayeva chaham. I am that person who is sitting in the heart of each and every living entity. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 15th chapter. Okay, and the second one is benefactor. Suridam sarva bhutanam. Ishvara bhuktaram yagyatapsam sarva loka maheshwaram suridam sarva bhutanam gyatva manushantim yachati. So this verse also giving us the same word, surit satam. Satam means those who are very pious people. Especially satam is used for the devotees. This word is used for devotees. So satam means devotees. Surit satam means what? I am the benefactor, I am the greatest of all benefactor or the friend to those people who are actually my devotees. Okay, so Surit Satam. The same word comes in Bhagavad Gita in 18th chapter, and the same word comes here also. So Krishna says, I am that great benefactor. Whenever Srila Prabhupada used to write any kind of a letter to his disciples, we write, yours faithfully, your lovingly, or your servant. Srila Prabhupada used to write, your ever well-wisher. So whether you are there with me, or whether you are not with me, whether you are following me, or whether you are rejecting me, Prabhupada used to say, I am your ever well-wisher. That is what a compassion of Srila Prabhupada, that he never rejected any person. Even if somebody tried to leave Srila Prabhupada after, taking so much from Srila Prabhupada never had any kind of a grudge, or he never rejected that person. He always said, I am your ever well-wisher, wherever you are. I will always benefit you. So Krishna is the ultimate benefactor for the entire living entity and entire material and the spiritual world. So if somebody gives the oral reception to the Krishna Katha, naturally all those abhadras within the heart will get eradicated. That is the glory of Srimad Bhagavatam. If somebody gives the sincere and serious, hearing capacity, if he or she utilizes his hearing capacity, especially hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, very soon, gradually but very soon, as compared to the eternity, 50-60 years are like this much. Like I say, palak jhapakte. Am I right? 50-60. If you compare it to the eternity, it's a fraction of second actually. Right? So within few seconds and gradually, as compared to the material world's timeline, we will be benefited, and those abhadras will naturally go out. Right? So that is what it is said here, that he is the everyone's heart, he is the benefactor of entire devotee, and he cleanses the desire of material enjoyment from the heart of devotee who has developed the urge to hear his message. Now there are two things in this. It's here it is said that Krishna will take care of all the inauspicious things within the heart if somebody develops the urge to hear the message of the Lord. Now if somebody wants to develop that urge to hear Krishna Katha, what he should do? Go to the previous verse, yesterday's verse. What he should do? Shushrusho Shaddadhanasya Vasudeva Katharuchi Sat Mahat Sevaya Vipra Punya Tirtha Nishevana. One should serve the devotee who is a pure devotee and who has developed that urge to hear the message of Supreme Personality of Godhead. By serving such devotee, we will get that urge. And the another thing to develop that urge is we should every day, even if we don't have that urge, we should hear. And gradually by doing it, mechanically at least, we will develop that urge. If somebody wants to have the urge, somebody wants to intensify or somebody wants to, develop the taste in chanting of the holy name, what he or she should do? They should chant. Until and unless you don't chant, you'll never get the taste to chant. So the first thing is that one should chant the holy name of the Lord, and then gradually one will develop taste in the chanting of the holy name. Those people who are, at least for some few years getting up early in the morning, sitting at one place chanting the holy name of the Lord, ask them what kind of beautiful experience it is to chant the holy name of the Lord. And once it happens, even if somebody tries to do it artificially, Krishna gives a benediction to that person. One, develops that urge in hearing the holy name of the Lord, and once he develops or she develops the urge and interest in chanting of the holy name of the Lord, all the inauspicious things goes. Even if somebody comes to Krishna or chants the holy name of Krishna, it is not much recommended. But still, if somebody approaches Krishna in order to get something materially desire getting fulfilled, Krishna will fulfill those desires. But he will fulfill those desires in such a way that you will no more require that material desire. Right? So, very classic example is of Dhruva Maharaj. Artha Arthartho Jigyasu Jnani Cha Bharatarshabha. There are 4 types of people who approaches Krishna. So Dhruva Maharaj approached Krishna in a way of Artharthi. He was Artha because of his stepmother Suruchi, but approaching Krishna is for Arthartha. Artha, he wanted Artha, that I want a kingdom which is much more greater and opulent than my great grandfather Lord Brahma. He approached. He went to forest. And after going to the forest, he started chanting the holy name of the Lord, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And gradually what happened, a 5-year-old child developed that urge, that intensity, that love in chanting the holy name of the Lord. A 5-year child can develop within 6 months. Prabhuji, I am chanting from 60 years. Right? 6 years. Why it is not happening to me? Lack of intensity and lack of sincerity. Once that comes into our heart, everything is like a makhan. ऐसे चलेगा सब. Right? So, Dhruva Maharaj was having that intensity. We are not yet. So, we have to develop that intensity. How to develop that intensity? By chanting more rounds. Very simple. By serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead, serving his devotees. Definitely. Right? The formulas are very simple in Krishna consciousness. Right? It's the same formula. They repeats one after another. And naturally within 6 months, when Lord Narayan came in front of Dhruva Maharaj said, I don't want any kind of this material benediction. The Krishna, Narayan is, take it here. What? I don't want this kingdom. Dhruva Maharaj, he approached for kingdom and now within 6 months he is saying, I don't want kingdom. Narayan says, please take this kingdom. If you won't take this kingdom, other people who are little bit trying to follow me, they will say, see, if we try to worship this Narayan, he don't give you any kind of a benediction which you want. Rather, he takes out that desire even to have that benediction in your life. We don't want to worship Narayan. So those devotees who are little bit inclined to worship me and to do devotional service, they will also go away from me. So please take this, please take this. So in case of outsiders or those who are we don't call it as a karmi, but I say most of the time outsiders, those who are not in devotional service, they hanker for material things. I want, somehow or other, and they do all kind of rituals, all kind of demigod worship and everything to achieve that particular benediction. Here in devotional service, Krishna, Lord Narayana, he himself is begging, take this benediction. And devotee says, no, we don't want you. We want only you. No, this, take this also. You. Ashvishya padartam pinishtu mama darshana marmatam karotu va yatha tatha va vidadatu lampato mat prananathastu sayyavana parama. Right? So that is what actually Supreme Personality of Godhead's compassion is there on devotees. You know, these jnanis, these karmis, these ashtanga yogis, they want liberation. Sayujya, Samipya, Sarupya, Sashti, these are 4 kind of liberations. You know, going to the Dham of the Lord, merging into the holy body of the Lord, merging into Brahma Jyoti, or attaining the same form as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the 400 Vishnu form. Very dangerous liberations actually. But these people, Gyanis and Karmis, they are hankering for such kind of liberations into their life. And it is said by Yamunacharya, he says in his one of the verse that this particular moksha personified, the Mukti Devi personification, the Mukti Devi liberation personification is standing at the doors of Supreme Personal devotee of the Lord, and she is begging to the devotee of the Lord, please give me a little bit chance of your service. And devotee says, I don't want you, please go back. Bhakti is enough for me, I don't want mukti. That is the glories of devotee of the Lord. The people outside, those people are hankering for certain things. These things are so easily available for the devotees, but devotees, they don't want it. What they want there in their life is actually on the shelter of the lotus feet of Supreme Personality of God. I don't want anything. I just want the Padaraja. Bhajahu Remana Sri Nandanandana Abhaya Charanarajindare. What I want is the shelter of your Padakamala, O Lord. I don't want anything else. And when that bhav is getting developed in the heart of a devotee, Hridayantasto Abhadrani is like, it's a secondary byproduct of a devotional service. Devotee doesn't have to worry much about his lust, anger, pride, greed, envy, illusion. He doesn't have time only to think about this Abhadra. He is so immersed into the devotional service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And once it happens, this world is also becomes so auspicious for the devotee. It becomes a Bhadra, this material world. And the spiritual world is a Bhadra itself, auspicious, it's sure. Okay? So, Srila Prabhupada in the last lines of Srila Purport, he says that in this particular age and in this particular material world, the www.com, it's so dangerous. Not only internet, www.com means it's an internet, obviously it's very dangerous. But www means woman, wealth and wife. So definitely one who is in the male body, for him woman is having a same potency and dangers as a Maya. And one who is in woman body, as a devotee in the woman body, the male body is having the same kind of a form of Maya. For a man, woman is considered as a Maya, and for a woman, man is considered as a Maya. Maya means what? Maya means doesn't mean exactly the Maya Devi. Okay, it's a illusory potency of the Lord. So Srila Prabhupada is writing that lust is such a dangerous form in this material world that any devotee, even if he tries his sincere effort, he cannot come out of it. Whether he's a Mataji or a Prabhuji. So one has to be so sincere that even if lust personification comes in front of him or her, they will not give any kind of a bhava to this lust personification. So in this material world, these three things are very dangerous actually. Wealth, women and wine. Women means for women it's a men. Okay. So we have to be very careful because this is the most driving force. Lust is a driving force in this material world and we have to take care of this because it will take us our devotional service, whatever credits we have taken. And most important thing, we are trying to invest our heart and mind into the service of Krishna. And this lust, anger, pride, greed, envy, illusion, that takes away our heart, that takes away our mind, that takes away our thought process from Krishna to them, which is very inauspicious. So we have to be very careful when it comes to the lust, anger, pride, greed, envy, illusion. The only remedy for that is to hear continuously without nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati nishtakhi. Next verse is supposed to be the same verse. Tomorrow we are going to discuss the same verse.